Good morning, guys. Welcome back to iPunt Smart. Beautiful day in Cape Town. Nice and cool actually today for a January day. There's been a bit of rain, 3.5 millimeters, which is not a whole lot. But that does mean that it's a little bit softer, but it's still good conditions, but slightly little softer underfoot conditions today. Let's start off with the first race. And in the first, we have a Greenier Celtic Knight at 2-1. And looking at the field here, it does look like Celtic Knight should be winning. He should definitely be finishing in the first two, I believe. So I've banked him in my pie pot. The bomb roll and bat figures here, 4.72 lengths better than the rest of the field, is pretty decent. And then there's one here in Snow Dragon that's coming back from a 4.28 here previously. Boldly Goes now scratched. And there's Patrick Grayer and Ashby on Colonnade, first timer that we can't say much about. But luckily there's only the one first timer in this race, and of the raced runners, Celtic Knight should win. If I look at a little bit more detail here, Flashlight finished just behind Celtic Light on the last time these two raced, 2.3 lengths behind in fact. So there's a 1.5 lengths difference between these two. But in saying that, Celtic Knight was having his first run, and he should make some faster natural improvement on that run, so he should hold Flashlight on that run. And then you also have Rose Princess here at the bottom. Now Rose Princess also ran a 1200 maiden fillies on the 26th of February, same as Celtic Knight. The lengths behind was 6 lengths behind the adjusted time, 61.49 versus 60.84. The speed rating 93.3 versus 94.44. And the bat figures 6 lengths worse off because 7.95 lengths worse off. So on that, Rose Princess should also be held. And then at Adderbury Lane is my third choice. Paul Reeves is only runner for the day. Alder Doormeyer is taking the right, so a little bit of intent there. And he did finish only 2.75 behind in a 61.24, which is slightly better than Rose Princess's adjusted time. The fact that his betting was drifting and the fact that he's carrying 4 kilos more with Alder Doormeyer on board means that his bat figures of 6.33 is also worse off, so he should also hold him. And then Duchess of Sussex did get quite a bit of betting support on his second and third run, 4.5 to 3.65, 7 into 6.5, and Chele was running it. Chele is also riding the big up-and-coming star Comedy King today for H.W. Crawford. We'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, 11 lengths on the bat figure. On the 1000 it was better, 5.08, went worse, 11.08 on the 1200, and it went further on 14.27 when the tongue tie was fitted over 1400. So Duchess of Sussex, the only runner for Dennis Dreyer, should, based on those runs, also be held. The 26th of December run was a 1400, 64.08 on the adjusted time, only 200 meters further versus 60.84 on the same day on the adjusted time for the 1200. Suggests that Celtic Knight for me should be your winner here. Then the ones below here, the bat figure starts getting really bad. That Crazy Cat Lady, I'd be very surprised if she performs after what I've seen so far. And Colonnade, I can't speak for Colonnade, can be anything on debut. In the second race, here we have what I believe is the start of a Candice Bass-Robinson double, and this should be the best bet for the day, I believe, in High Moon. The T-curve is 65 points versus 35 as second best, so almost double as good. And the exact course and distance bat, the blue bat, is 3.2 versus the second best is 8.34 on Bay Suhei, which is a decent little top 4 place prospect. So looking at this race as an 1800 meters, Candice Bass-Robinson and Doormeyer is taking the ride here. You can see it's very consistent, 4.4222, and the 1800 Kenilworth, which is the previous run, over this exact course and distance, huge support, 2.2 into 0.7, where he did get beaten, and his adjusted time of 62.05 is the best adjusted time in the field. 63.05 here for Highway Star, and Highway Star is carrying one more, the same as what High Moon is also carrying one more today, and his bat figures of 12 is a little bit off, but he's not that far off for a 33-to-1 shot, and he might be able to run into the quartet, Highway Star, for Glenn Cotson. That's the second choice at 33-to-1 for me, but I do think High Moon has got too many guns in this race. My third choice, I've gone at the bottom here for King Saladim. That's returning back to the 1800 Kenilworth after making quite a decent improvement on his 1400 previously. And if he can repeat that time of a 1400 over back to the improvement on the 1800, then he could be a runner as well. The one that gets closest on the blue bat is Ben Suhei on the 28th of November, the 1800 Kenilworth, 4.5 lengths behind, and Yanni Becker is taking the ride now. 8.34 on the bat figures is pretty decent. If I look at High Moon, it's 57 to now carrying 58, 2.25 behind on the 28th of November. Ben Suhei was carrying 4.5, also 1 kilo more now. So 2.25 lengths is not a whole lot between these two. But given the handicappers has given High Moon at 81 merit rating versus Ben Suhei's 78 merit rating, there's a little bit more lengths in the tank for High Moon, and I make High Moon quite a decent runner as a winner today. So I have gone and I've also banked High Moon in my PA and bipod. So I've started with 2 bankers. In the third race, here I believe it could be the second leg of the Candice Bass-Robinson Doormeyer double. And What's in a Dream has by far the best bat figures here. 11.66 advantage on the last 42 days, on the bat 42 days. So 11 lengths over the 1800 meters means that What's in a Dream should really be winning this race if all goes well. Only the 4th run today, and he's trying the 1800 for the first time today. Aldo Doormeyer does retain the ride. They didn't expect as much from him the previous time because he drifted from 3.5 into 7, and it's a little bit of a concern for me, so I'm going to have to watch the betting to just see if there is any reasoning for people not having the faith in him, because that's normally a sign. And then if that is the case, I wouldn't banker him in my pick 6. The Piet Botha Yanni Becker combination is my second choice in the Summons. The Summons has the best exact distance median speed here, and he did the 1800 Kenilworth when he did finish 3rd the previous time. You can clearly see that the 69.6 adjusted time was in the soft going, and maybe the soft going didn't suit him that well, but he is consistent lately. He has been second over the 2.4 and the 2000, and he's returning to the 1800 again today as my second choice. The third choice is Candice Bass's stablemate, and you know what I've said about the stablemates of late. I'm quite concerned about stablemates recently. It's almost as if miraculously these stablemates at much better odds keeps on winning of late. So Joe Loves could win if the stablemate allows him to win, but given that these bat figures of 1.86 versus 14.41, What's in a Dream should, and I'm saying should, beat Joe Loves. But given that there's nothing else to really compete against that 1.86 bat figure, if What's in a Dream decides to be pulled, or maybe decides to drink too much water on the morning of the race, then it does mean that the Summons and Joe Loves will be there to pick up the pieces, and even Song, Justin Snaith and Richard Fourie. That 1600 Kenilworth run here 6.3 lengths behind, versus the Summons 1.25 on the same day. It looks to me like the Summons is preferred over Song for me, and my fifth choice, Shades of Red with Woodruff. And then if I'm looking down further below, Madame Seville, my sixth choice. He has, if he likes the 1800 meters, he has bat figures that could really be competitive. 2.9, 5.2, 6.8, 3.1, 5.1. So that does make him a bit of a roughie, given that he does that well over the 1400 meters. And he has been improving on his last two 1400s from a 13 to a 5. So the 1800 he could very well even prefer or like, and that would bring Madame Seville into this race as far as the bat figures are concerned. But all things being equal, I do think that What's in a Dream should win this race. If not, then my second and third ones to pick up the pieces, the Summons and Joe Loves, with the roughies then behind that, Song, Shades of Red and Madame Seville. Moving on to the fourth race. Now, this is a very interesting race because here we have a future star in Comedy Ding that's running here, and he's had 2 runs so far, and he's won both of those. Both of those over the 1200 meters, both of those with Mr. Chele on board. Now, Mr. Chele is very glad Comedy Ding came into reckoning, because that has meant that he has upped his win place percentage now to a lifetime of 3.9% winners in his life, with an additional 17% places in his life. So he does place 20% of the time. Now, from a probability statistical perspective, a jockey that places 20% of his lifetime is not really some jockey that I would take even money on. But in saying that, Comedy Ding does seem he could be anything. His collateral forms is really good. His last race, he beat Russian Rock, which finished next time out. Russian Rock won the Grade 1 Cape Guineas. The horse who finished 4th in the Cape Guineas was Jet Dark. Jet Dark then came out and won the Queen's Plate Grade 1 race just immediately after that. So that does say quite a bit for the horses that Comedy Ding won. But in saying that, Comedy Ding looks some really decent. You can see the sire Elusive Fort, the dam Adorable, the dam sire Captain L. Elusive Fort dam is Ever Seeking. Ever Seeking was in Colin Lee's stable, and Ever Seeking's dam is Epoch, and the grand dam is Elise. And Elise produced Epoch, Ecurie, and Empress Club, and all of those were Grade 1 winners. Comedy Ding's grand dam is Dacia, and Dacia also wins some listed features and a Grade 3. So it does have the characteristics of potentially being a future star, but the one problem with that is Comedy Ding doesn't know who his grandma and his ma and his dad was. I was also a star as a long distance canoeist, but none of that rubbed off to my offspring, and my kids is definitely not going to do a 232 kilometer canoe race every year. So yeah, I don't think anyone's told Comedy about his mom and dad that were superstars. And I can tell you one thing, my personal opinion is this: the jockey is certainly no superstar, judging on a 3.9% lifetime winning percentage and an additional 17% place percentage. So, no good thing for me. I actually went with Fire Alley as my first choice. Now, if I look against Fire Alley versus Comedy Ding, Fire Alley has the advantage that he has done the 1600 Kenilworth, and he's got a 4.02 bat on that run, which is very, very decent. The best adjusted time in the field. The best Robinson stablemate, though, is Arctic Drift, and you can see that Doormeyer opted for Arctic Drift and not for Fire Alley, who Greg Shane rides today. But all that being equal, on the 23rd of December, Fire Alley ran in a merit rate at 83 and Arctic Drift ran in a merit rate at 97 event. Doormeyer was riding on 57 kilos. He now has 58 and a half, and finished 1.5 lengths behind. The winner was backed in 4.5 into 2.2, and the adjusted time 62.21 from that 57 kilos. The same day in the merit rate at 83 event, Fire Alley did a 62.89 adjusted time, 0.3 lengths behind the winner, carrying 58.5 kilos. The big swing for me is that could be that Greg Shane's riding Fire Alley because Doormeyer can't make the weight of 53 kilos. That's what I think what's happening here, because the 53 kilos does make a huge advantage on Fire Alley given what I am seeing here. And that brings me to a bat 42 of 4 lengths versus Arctic Drift's bat 42 of 7.92 lengths. So there is a little bit of a difference, almost 4 lengths between the two stable couplings, based on that run and the swap in weight. And they do have the same kind of merit rate at 92, and 91 was what they ran on previously. Arctic Drift is now a 93 and Fire Alley is now a 92. So very, very similar, half a kilo on that. That's my first two choices. My third choice here then goes to Liberty Hall. Now, Liberty Hall from Dean Cunningham does have Keegan Miller taking the ride, and he does also have some decent credentials, and he comes from a decent stable. He's got the highest exact distance median speed and the highest super rule percentage, and his 1400 Kenilworth merit rating of 7.8 competes very well to the 7.9 on Arctic Drift. So he's also thereabouts. Now, yes, Comedy Ding has the best bat curve, and he does have the 1.88 bat 84 figure. If he was such a superstar, then I would have expected the superstar to be known as a superstar long ago and not have started as a 16 to 1, and then after he won his first, then as a 14 to 1. So maybe that was because it was too short, the 1200 meters, or maybe that was because Sele, as a probability perspective, was on his back. But the probability of Sele actually winning three in a row on a horse must be much lower than an even money shot. The fifth choice for me then is a horse that I also would definitely respect here in the form of Rocking Ringo. So Rocking Ringo gets Becker back on board, and you can look at Becker's form here: fourth, third, first, fourth, and fourth, always thereabouts. And then since he's improved, with Mokotwa being on board. Now, it could be that he improved because Mokotwa was on board, or it could be that he improved after the little bit of a few months of training. But Becker is returning again after Mokotwa didn't do well on him 1600 previously, but is 1600 attempts prior to that. He did get into the money. He was back 12 into 8, and he finished second and also first, and also some respectable adjusted time figures, also in the 61s, and he gets 4 kilos less, 56 kilos today on that 61. So I don't think he's completely out of it either. just considering Fire Alice was a 62.89 year carrying 58.5, and Rocking Ringo was a 61.84, 62.7, 61.79 carrying 60 kilos. It's not that much difference, actually a little bit better. So Rocking Ringo is not completely out of it either for me. Captain Flanders is another one that produces some 61s, be that on a 54 kilogram. So to a lesser extent Captain Flanders, but in saying that, Captain Flanders does get Grant van Niekerk to take the ride today. So a little bit of intent shown on Grant van Niekerk taking the ride. So mustn't be completely without a chance either. And then Pietsteen has Grant Burrier on Man About Town, and he made some nice improvement on his 1600 23.2 to his next 11.65. So to a lesser extent, something that could be considered. And then the other one, which is a much lower chance given his bad adjusted time figures here, Double the Fun on, you see 1600 here was a 63.4 on 57.5 kilos. But that was when Vinard was riding and Fourie comes back, but I doubt if Double the Fun is going to be winning this race. He's got some sort of a chance, but to a lesser extent. You could probably get away with the first four in the pick six here, I believe. Fire Alley, Arctic Drift, Liberty Hall, and Comedy Ding. But Rocking Ringo and Captain Flanders is definitely not without chances either. So for me, I've gone 8, 4, 5, 3, 6 in my pick six, and I've put the one in the bigger pick six in brackets. Race 5, and here I've gone with John Carlos as my first choice, Aldo Duomo and Adam Marcus, and Salvatore Mundi as my second choice. And you can see there's quite a bit of difference on Salvatore Mundi versus John Carlos as far as the bat figures is concerned. And these two, 58 and 55, is quite a bit different, better than the 41.81, which is Midnight Badger, the next best, that all lit up the other Eric Sands runner for Grant van Niekerk taking the ride. So I think 3 and 4 is enough in your bipod and in your PA. And in my pick six, I've gone 3, 4, 5, Midnight Badger, 1 all lit up, and 2 the second wave with Woodruff and the Milo. And that would allow me to get anything from 2 to 9 on the bat figures. So I've looked at this Rostropovich, and there's definitely some intentions here on Rostropovich with Piet Botha and now Greg Shane taking the ride. So I have added Rostropovich into my pick six because Greg Shane might just get a whole lot more out of the horse, and he's just won his maiden, and immediately after he's won his maiden, they decided that he is low enough on his merit rating for Greg Shane to take a chance on him. So I have included number 9 in my pick six as well. I have gone with 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 6, and 9 in my pick six. Race 6. And here, my first choice is Arc Lamp, Woodruff and Shane. Again, Shane's intent shown here with Shane jumping on Woodruff. Glacier Gold, very close on the bat figures as well. Galactic Star, the best bat figure and the best greenie points. And Brave New World, the fourth choice. And these four has not got a whole lot between them. Even Columns Delight, also 4.8. Also very much into it, and the fact that Grant van Niekerk is taking the ride means even more to it. So 3, 4, 2, 1, and 11, I think all have a decent chance. And then I look at this Miss Millstream, and he does have the best adjusted time, he does have the best speed rating, and he does have the services of Richard Fourie today. Another one that could produce the goods with the change in jockey, considering that he's been backed from 18 to 6 and from 18 to 3.75 on his last 2 runs. Connections are clearly expecting more, and now for expecting more has decided that Richard Fourie might be the answer. So if I look at Piet Botha and Richard Fourie together, they haven't been riding this season together at all, but we all know that Richard Fourie lifetime 14% win against Cele's lifetime 3.9% win. It's clear who I'd rather want on the back of my superstar. So I have added Miss Millstream as well. 3, 4, 2, 1, 5 and 11 is in my pick 6. Moving to the 7th race, and here I do think Gertrude Bell looks pretty decent, but he did make a hash of it on his last run on a 19.66 bat. So that means I can't really trust him. So 50 Shades Darker, Bass Robinson and Dormeyer seem to be having a really decent day. He does have the best exact course and distance bat CD in the field. And then interesting to note that Richard Fourie is not on Justin Snaith's horse. Richard Fourie is on Sean Tarry's only runner for the De La Lluvia. So 7, 6 and 3 is my 3 for the PA. And in the pick 6 I have added Secret Depths. Robinson now gets the services of DeMelo. As you can see, he hasn't had any of those kind of jockeys recently. It does have the best speed rating for the Cape Town Crawl. That's normally a good idea. And Secret Depths my 4th choice, and Alfred's Girl my 5th choice. Now, Alfred's Girl is the same Crawford Ricks that also has Comedy Dim. Yeah, Aussie Noach has been doing quite well with Alfred's Girl, but his bat figures is a little bit off versus the ones that I've mentioned. So 7, 6, 3 and 2 is probably enough for your pick 6, and in the bigger perm 4 Alfred's Girl and 5 Crusades Promise. You'll note I left out Water Spirit. Marcus now taking the ride. Statistical form and intent looks decent, but his bat figures does not look all that great. And Marcus did have the chance to improve his bat figures on the last time they met, which was only a couple of weeks ago, so I have left him out of my pick 6. And in the last race, probably my best value bet for the day, Sonic Burst, Piet Botha. Greg Shane takes the ride. Now, Greg Shane has taken the ride a couple of times previously to no effect, and the bat figures that he did get the best bats on the 0 was over 1,000 meters, and now he gets back onto the 1,400 meters. But yeah, interesting that he also gets the blinkers fitted now. Greg Shane is back. And considering the second choice, the favorite, Opera Swing, has tried 3 times over the 1,400 Kenilworth Blue Bat, exact course, exact distance bats, with Marcus and Fonnikerk riding for bat figures of 21.23, 15.92 and 17.28. Comparing that to 13.17, you can see where I'm going with Sonic Burst. For me, better value at 9 to 1 than Opera Swing at 3.35. So my first choice Sonic Burst, my second choice Opera Swing, my third choice is a Glenn Puller, only runner for the day, Noosa Princess, and we're back on board with Mr. Chele. Now, interesting is Mr. Chele was the strike jockey for Glenn Puller on Maiden Juvenile Plate on the 18th of July. Which was 4 months after the previous run on the 21st of March, and he pulled it off at 28 to 1, coming back from a 4-month rest. So he's not coming back from a 4-month rest today. He just ran 23 days ago and didn't do all that well 23 days ago. Did have a decent adjusted time. As you can see, it's lit up in green here, but I can understand that from 1,000 meters he should have a green lit up adjusted time, given that now he's competing in 1400s. So the 1400 meters could potentially work out for him, but judging on his previous jump from 1000 to 1250 from a 9 to a 22 bat, I'm hoping that it's not going to be the case. I only gave him my third choice, and Winter Fury my fourth choice, another horse that's trying the 1400, and the 1200 did give him a decent 3.94 on the bat. Grant van Niekerk retains the ride, and Winter Fury might be showing the improvement expected to be competing here. Just some more also on the Sonic Burst versus Opera Swing. If I look at the 21st of November, 1400 Kenilworth, Sonic Burst ran in a RTRS and Opera Swing in the RTRC. Sonic Burst 57.5, now carries 2 more to 59.5, and Opera Swing 57.5, 1 more to 58. So Opera Swing on that has 1.5 kilos better on that run. Sonic Burst's adjusted time 61.33 on that run, where the RTRC was a much slower run race, 62.71. Speed ratings 94 versus 96. Also Sonic Bursts getting that. So yes, it was a slow run race on the exact same day, and that is why the bat figures works out on the same day to a 2.75 better on Sonic Burst. The slow run race is a bit of a concern, but Greg Shane takes the ride today, and with the better speed rating, I'm hoping that even in a slow run race, Sonic Burst should be able to get past Opera Swing, because his speed ratings are all being better than Opera Swing's speed ratings. So that's my value bet for today, Sonic Burst. So what am I going to play? I believe Celtic Knight should win the first, High Moon should win the second, What's in a Dream should win the third, and then I do like a bit of Fire Alley or Arctic Drift. I like Comedy Ding being beaten in this race. John Carlos Salvador Mundi with the outsider Rostropovich and Midnight Badger, that could maybe upset the apple cart here. In the sixth race, the bit of an outsider that could upset things here is Miss Millstream for me. Does look like he could be anything now with Richard Fourie taking the ride on the adjusted time figure. In the seventh race, I do think that Gertrude 50 Shades is probably my best chances, with La Luvia the third choice. And in the last race, the value bet for Sonic Burst to win this race. So I'm hoping 1, 2, 3, and 8 is my top choices, because every day about 40 to 50% of our top rated wins. Okay guys, that's it from me. Have a great day.